Welcome back to Keep It Good. I'm your host, Emily.
And I'm your host, Carly. So last week we were talking about the importance of communication, healthy communication, kind communication. And it got us thinking about how communication can roll over to how we talk to ourselves and all about self love.
Yes. What are some ways that you would do that? Like, what's self love to you? What does that mean to you?
Well, the older I get, I think I've been giving myself a lot more grace and just
Yeah.
realizing and being my own hype girl,
Hmm.
no one knows what it's like to be you. So you can't expect people to understand you all the time. I mean, you only kind of show yourself like 25% of what you really are and think about and go through on a daily basis. So you got to kind of just motivate yourself and just give back to yourself
Yeah.
because you can't expect anyone else to. It's like that saying, like, if you don't love yourself, how do you expect others to love you?
Yeah. Right. Well, you want to be authentic,
Yeah.
right? You want to be authentic to yourself. And it's tricky because I think for me, I think about it as like self love is like my head kind of goes to more like self care, but they're two totally different things
Yeah.
if you really look at them, you
Yeah,
know?
one is like going to the spa, that's self-care in my mind.
Really, when you
Um,
think about it, yes, I agree. But that's kind
yeah,
of where I go like, "Oh, self-love, like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna take my morning and I'm gonna do an extra long yoga session, or I'm gonna do something," and that is really caring for yourself, right? Caring for your body and your mind and all that. Where
yeah,
self-love is definitely a little different.
yeah, I think it's looking at yourself and truly, just celebrating your uniqueness, you know? This whole concept of, like, what the perfect image is has just distorted so many people's ability to give themselves self-love that they truly deserve, because, "Oh, you got cellulite," or "My stomach's not flat," or whatever the case may be, like, that's normal. You're normal. Like, you
Right,
should not be held up to this unattainable goal and feel less than. That's just garbage, that in my mind, and that's what we're teaching our kids, like,
right. Well,
"Well."
20 years of social media now too, you can very easily look at that when you're scrolling through and be like, "Oh, I wish I had that. I wish I looked like that. I wish my I don't know, whatever, my eyelashes were longer, my didn't have, cellulite on my butt," or whatever it is, right? It's easy to be like, "Ooh, that looks perfect to me."
Yeah, but the problem is I don't think kids can really, decipher or, teens, so to say, can decipher what is photoshopped, what is filtered.
AI
That's
now.
not Yeah, that's not real
Yes,
life, and we kinda need to really appreciate. I mean, if everyone was tall, skinny, big lips, big boobs, we would just look like a vanilla ice cream cone, the world. Like,
right.
there would be no rainbow sprinkles, there would be no chocolate chunks. It would just be so bland. There's no variety. That's what diversity is so beautiful because
Mhm.
everyone adds something unique. I don't know. I give big round of applause to Pam Anderson from going from your stereotypical, beach babe. Uh, what was that show she was on?
Baywatch.
Baywatch. Yes.
And
Yes.
she was beautiful then, that wasn't,
Yeah. Yeah. But like that was, I feel like she
people
kind of
aspired
got
to be.
pressured into
Mm,
probably more so that look. But
right,
now she shows up on the red carpet, clean faced, just glowing in my mind. That's just her true self. That's
right.
that's how she was made and she's not hiding behind anything anymore. And not to say it's not fun to dress up and put on makeup. Of course, I love it, But I feel like when you get out of the shower and you look yourself in the mirror, don't pick yourself apart, like try and find the beauty in everything that you are. Your essence should speak louder than any type of superficial outer layer because guess what? We all grow old and I see what happens at the end. We're all going to finish the same way,
Right.
And it's the character within you that is really what you should be celebrating the most. Your true authentic self, your essence, what you're all about.
Well, times change too. What you think maybe in your 20s and 30, even still in your 40s, but maybe when you're in your 50s, like, you might be like, "Oh, I don't really care about that anymore." Like, doing, say, Botox just because you should and you don't wanna have wrinkles. In my opinion, that's okay. I If that makes you feel good and you wanna do that, then by all means, go ahead and do it, and I've done it too. But, it's just like, if you don't want to, but you feel pressured into it, that's not good self-love, just to look like everybody else. Or like, we were having the conversation about watching different reality shows and just how different people look, and, you know, it's like, I we don't wanna throw shade on anybody and whatever, but, you are so good the way you are and the way you are meant to be. You can be your authentic self, and everyone's gonna know, like, you're 60, but you don't look like that, so that's weird. Like, why don't you look like you're 60?
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with a little uh, nip tuck or whatever, and whatever people need to do to make themselves feel good,
Mhm.
But at the same time, where does that stem from? What are you trying to change about yourself? Is it because you don't feel like you look like the standard that is now the standard? Because that's crap,
Well,
you
and the
know?
standard's probably always gonna continue to change, or
Yeah.
whatever the quote unquote standard is. It's okay to have cellulite, it's okay to have a fupa. I had 2 C-sections. My belly doesn't look quite the same. I'm good with it. I'm a mom. I'm happy. Like, but I also in the same breath want to be healthy and eat well and move my body. And so I'm able to, like, run around with grandchildren in
Yeah,
25 years
exactly.
and do all those things, right? So, like,
Yeah.
that's my self-love now, by trying to keep myself healthy and exercise. And yeah, maybe in return, I do have some muscles, or I'm at a healthy weight, or taking care of my skin, or whatever it is. But that's the self-love, but it needs to be from within also, right? Telling
Yeah.
yourself that that's okay, and it doesn't always just have to be surface level.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, self love is also like, okay, you need a mental health day, you need the toddler day, to just take a nap, regroup, and be okay with that and not like push yourself down because, oh, you didn't clean the house or you didn't do all the million things on your to do list. You just have to kind of be okay with where you're at that day and be
Not
like, you
compare
know what?
yourself.
Yeah. Because you go on Instagram or anything, they're highlighting their best moments. And I do the same thing. I'm not gonna show you what my living room looks like on a daily basis. Who wants to see that, No one. But that's reality,
Yeah.
and you can't compare. Instagram should just be for fun and whatever, and there's no comparison. Like, no one is you. No one can be you. You bring so much beauty and light and your own perspective and your own opinion. That's you, and you should be, happy and respectful to yourself and just own it.
Have you ever seen on Instagram the women who say they're, um, a model or something like that, but they show you what they actually look like if they were just sitting instead of posing?
Oh, yeah.
Where you see, even though, say, they may be quote unquote skinny, but you see their rolls and they're sitting sideways, or they have cellulite on their butt, but they're being real. They're showing you, I pose like this, so I don't look like that, but this is what I really look like. And I think that's kind of funny to see, because it's like, yeah, see?
I know.
He looks like that too.
Yeah.
And
I mean, and they've done it for years. I mean, look at the magazine covers. It's all airbrushed. I love when you see the actual image of these stars. They're not like that. They're regular, everyday people. But
Mhm.
yeah, airbrush makes them look like a porcelain doll with no wrinkles and no bags under their eyes. And I'm sorry, but that's not real. Like,
Yeah.
let's step back into reality and give our kids an actual goal that is healthy for not only their mind, but their body. Like, how many kids now have eating disorders? Or, I met someone recently who came up and was talking about getting a nose job. And she's like, not even 22. And she said her mom thinks that she should get a nose job. And I was like, okay, first of all, shame on that mom for
Mm.
ever putting any doubt in that child, because that's what she is. She's still a child, saying that she's not good enough just the way that she is. And
Yeah.
I basically like reamed her out in the nice, peaceful way, this girl. And I was like, are you kidding me? You are gorgeous. You're cute. Like, No, no, do not get a nose job. Like, and there was really no reason to get a nose job. She was adorable. But in my mind, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? That mom was forcing her to get a nose job? Like, that's
Yeah.
no, that's disgusting.
Right. So the self-love would be like, "I'm good. I love my face. Like, this is what God gave me. This is
Yeah.
how I am." Yeah. No, I get that.
And I'm not saying like, okay, if it's gonna truly make you happy, then do it. Be you. Do you. Don't ever think that anyone else's opinion is your business because it's not. That's their opinion. And like I said, it's shit.
Yeah. Well, and going into the kid part too, I have a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old. We're into the cheerleading and dance and stuff like that. So for certain things, we have to have makeup on and their hair has to be a certain way. And that's just kind of what it is. And
Oh yeah.
they're interested in it. They're very girly, if you will. And they want all those things. And their peers are also doing that. Like they want lip gloss, they want this, they want that. And we do have a collection of stuff. They don't wear it, you know?
Yeah.
But I get that that's part of it. I enjoyed all that stuff too
Oh,
as a
me
young
too.
girl. You know, I wanted stick-on nails and, all these things, and I understand. But I think, like, self-love too, I'm trying to teach my kids, like, sometimes they'll fight me on taking a shower or a bath, and I'm like, "You have to. You have to. You have to care." It's brushing your teeth, and it's brushing your hair, and it's, taking care of your body too
Yeah.
is self-love. Like, you have to take care of you have to take a bath because that's keeping your skin clean and your body clean so that you don't get, a boo-boo somewhere, you don't get an infection. You have to brush your teeth so that you can chew food and you have to, like trying to take care of themselves, like this vessel that they have, right? Like I'm trying to teach them at a young age, this is self-love to you. Like, oh, once we wash your hair, how good does that feel? You feel so nice and clean when your hair's all washed and
Hmm.
it's just a good feeling and they get it. They'll say, "Oh, yeah, no, I know." But they'll fight me to wash
Oh, of
their hair,
course.
right? But it's just like teaching them, eat good food. That's self-love. You're taking care of your body, you
Yeah.
know? And it's not like, "Oh, I don't want you to eat crap food so you don't get fat." That's not what I'm saying because that's not the case. I want them to eat good food so they're nourished, and again, they're taking care of the whole body, and
Yeah.
I guess, again, the self-love, self-care, like, they're similar, but they're different.
Oh, for sure.
Also, the self-love is if you're in a bad place, self-love is getting maybe some help, right?
Yeah.
We're talking a lot about superficial stuff, but, if you are mentally not in the right headspace or something's going on, like, getting yourself to some therapy or even talking to a friend or something to get you started with things, that's self-love because 'cause you're trying to help
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. There's so many things, like, it could all everything could stem back to your mental health. I think that's one of the biggest issues we have right now in the world, is how we take care of our mind. Like that girl who wants a, nose job at 21 or 22. Why? Like, before you jump the gun and get the surgery, w take a minute and understand the true reasons of why, you know? Is it because your mom's pressuring you? Is it because you have a distorted self-image when you look in the mirror? Well, that could be body dysmorphia, you know? Now you
Mm,
get the nose job and it didn't come out the way you intended. There's no, like, reset button. You can't go back and fix your nose to how it was when you were born. I don't know. It wouldn't be a bad idea to have like a psych eval done before all these plastic surgeries because people can get addicted. And you see people who literally don't even see themselves anymore when they look in the mirror. They're just addicted to the more, more, more. So their lips are like
mm.
almost exploding because they don't even see it at that point that they're so big. You don't need anything else. And like the doctors kind of need to take accountability. Yes, I know they want to make money, but like at certain point, you should probably be like, okay, no, I refuse to do any more work before you talk to someone, because
Mm, yeah.
what is the underlining reason for all these changes? What is the deeper issue going on where it's not going to fix how you feel if you don't love yourself initially?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a slippery slope, I
Yes, I was
feel.
just gonna say that. It's a slippery slope for sure. I don't know. I think, we talked about this last week, but being grateful and all that stuff is also part of self-love. Like, I'm grateful that I'm standing, I'm able to do my workout this morning. You know,
Yeah.
I love my body that it can move. My yoga practice this morning, the instructor was like, put your hands on your heart, like, be grateful to your body for number 1, you got yourself here today. And number 2, your body was able to move, for you and do what you want. You got out of the practice what you needed. And, you know, again, I personally find the self-love, self-care like really close together. And maybe it's really not, but for me that's what makes the most sense,
Yeah.
like it's all really close, really close together.
Oh, absolutely. Because when you truly love yourself, you're going to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
So, self love, if you have it, then you're more apt to giving yourself care, you know?
Yeah. That's true.
So, it's kind of like you can't have one without the other type of
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, I mean, it kind of stems back to that whole thing that we talked about last week was perspective. If you were to stand in front of the mirror right now and look at yourself completely naked, no makeup, hair wet, what would be your first thought? 10 out of 10, you're going to pick your flaws first, right?
For sure. Absolutely. I would.
I think everyone would.
Right?
Myself included, right? You're like, what the hell is going on right there? Yikes.
I've been doing a lot of
But
abs. Why does that still look like that?
yeah. But if we can encourage each other to kind of look at each other and just first look at like, see if you can see your insides glow out, like,
Mhm.
this is my temple. This is just kind of my tool for this world, like, because we're really just souls in this like machine that's just bopping around trying to find our mission in life. And all right, so you just work with what you were given, it's like that's once you try and find the true meaning of why you're even here and you get into all that deeper, thinking, you should really just celebrate yourself because you've gone through journeys, you've gone through births or trials and tribulations like
Mhm.
everyone has. And you should look at yourself first and truly see a warrior because that's what we all are. We are
Yeah.
surviving each day. And who cares if you have a little fucking dimple here, a little whatever the hell that
Wrinkle
is over
there.
there? Yeah. Who gives a shit? Have you ever met someone and they're like perfect? They're so just beautiful. And you're like, oh my God. You go up and you talk to them and they're just flat. They have no substance. They are,
Right.
either mean spirited or their thought process is just ugly. Your your take on them is going to dramatically change within instant.
Mhm.
You're gonna be like, okay, no. You instantly have the ick and you're like, get me the hell away from this person.
Yeah.
But the same goes for say you're a 4 out of 10 appearance wise. If you are genuinely such a beautiful person from the inside, you just went up to a 10 because I think that at the end of the day, they make the world a better place. And that there's nothing more beautiful to me than that.
Like my girlfriend, she's dating again. And so I'm hearing it from her. You see these pictures of this person, you're talking to them online, you're only seeing pictures at first. So you have to go by first image of them. So, of course, maybe you're looking for someone who has certain attributes because that's what you're attracted to. But then when you get to the date, it's just like, oh, okay. Well, then there was that. So that's the only, we're only doing one date. But then sometimes it's the people who maybe you wouldn't have picked, but they keep popping up. And then you just have this wonderful conversation. They're just kind and they just ooze something. And that can bring, whether it's the attraction, if you're dating or, you know, boost a new friendship or whatever it is, that's really what can shine through.
Yep, absolutely. And I mean that's a good point that you bring up. It's like the dating apps and stuff because you are judging someone immediately off of the cover, right?
And you're trying to put your best, I would assume, your best
Yeah.
pictures forward,
Oh yeah,
you
you
know?
better believe I would be wearing my hair perfect and my makeup. Thank God I don't have to do that. I don't even know what I would do,
Yes.
but yeah, it's so true. Like, I mean, you try and sell yourself from the cover, right? But
Mhm.
like the book is what makes it. The words inside is what makes the book. And I always buy my books by the cover because that's like your initial, oh, this looks good, you know?
Right.
And
You're such an
yeah.
avid reader, though. Do you ever find like, "Oh, this book sucks?"
Oh
All
yeah.
the time,
But
right?
I love reading that. I will literally read anything. Sometimes I'll pick a book and I'm like, "Ugh, I don't think I'm gonna like this." But I get into it and then I'm like, holy shit, that was one of the best books I've ever read.
Right. Well, don't judge a book by its cover, Carly. You know the
Exactly.
saying.
Exactly. But no, I mean, I really hope people this week will look at themselves and really just give yourself credit. More credit is due because we're all beautiful. We're all unique. We all add a little flavor to this world.
Yeah.
It would be very bland.
Yeah. It would be if we all looked the same for sure. Well, I have a cute little story. The yoga studio that Carly and I go to, the owner puts out this little thing every week, and she had a quick little story, and it just played into this, and I was like, "See, this is just so perfect." But she was saying she was visiting a family member who had just had a baby, and they're like, "Oh, who does the baby look like?" Like, mom, dad, grandma, whatever. And the older sibling, who's like 3, said, "Well, she just looks like Jane. Like, that's who she looks like because she's Jane." And I was like, "Exactly." We all I look like Emily because 'cause I'm Emily, and it's
Yeah,
just, like, out of the mouth of babes, like,
I
she doesn't have
know.
to look like anyone, she looks like her because she's her?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
How old was she?
I just
3,
thought it was so
2,
cute. Yeah, 3.
3, and she's just like,
Yeah.
she's got it. She's got it already,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
and it
she
was
looks
kinda her
like
message
Jane.
was kind of a similar message, like, "Be authentic and be you," and I was like, "How funny, that's what we're gonna be talking about?"
Yeah. I mean, when you look at someone, I know it's easy to be like, "Oh, I wish I looked like that. I wish I looked like this." But how many people are wishing they look like you, that you don't even
Yeah.
realize?
Ooh. Mhm.
So there really should be no kind of competition because we all bring our own little flair to this world. So just appreciate you this week. Give yourself some
Yeah.
fucking credit. You're a
You look
badass
great.
and yeah, you look fantastic,
You're great.
okay? Regardless of what you're doing, you look fantastic.
Give yourself some
And
grace.
yeah, give yourself some grace and some self-love. So, we found the perfect quote to go with this week's theme. So it's from, what is it?
Brené.
Brene
Brené
Brown.
Brown.
I like that name. It's
Yeah.
clean. So Brene Brown said, talk to yourself like you would to someone you love. And yeah, I mean, would you ever say half of the shit you say to your kids or your mom that you say to yourself? Would
Right.
you ever pick someone apart the way that you pick yourself apart? No,
Never.
because it's mean and you would never want their feelings to be hurt. So, why is it okay to hurt your own feelings? No.
Perfection.
Adore yourself because you're amazing and you're part of this world and you add that extra spice.
Yes.
So, that's all we got for today. We hope you have a really great week. And as always, keep it good.